Welcome, Gemini, to your wrapping up a 2025 reading. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Okay, we're going straight in here, see how this year is going to wrap it up. We've got the last 2 months reading going on. Okay, so starting going this way over here, this is going to be November, and this is December. Okay, so let's get started here. First energy coming out. I already have the cards ready. That way we won't be here for 1,000 hours, guys, okay? We do have the Prince of Wands coming out. Prince of Wands is talking about your impulsiveness. A lot of people are starting the month off impulsive, right? We've seen it with Taurus. We've seen it with Aries. Well, Aries it should be, right? It is their card. But we have seen this impulsive energy coming through. So we're definitely seeing this brilliant and daring, noble and generous, great sense of humor. So I am liking this, and it's going to be great for you, Gemini, because I think that this is going to be one of those things where it's going to allow you to move the way you want to move. Okay? You're going to find yourself in this different kind of energy. There's going to be a lot of there's a lot of productivity. And of course it's fire, so it's creativity as well. But I think you're going to feel very productive. I feel like November is going to be your productive time. You have the Ace of Cups sitting over here in your energy. Okay, this is talking about, the key to the situation, right? Ace of Cups. Feeling that gift, feeling that wonderment coming towards you. Feeling that empowerment, feeling that love. Okay, this card here is wonderful because in this deck, it is the root of powers of water, right? It's the root of all water. The fertility, the productivity, the beauty, the pleasure, the happiness. And it's just like, that's where you're moving. You're bringing in all of this. That's why I said it looks like you're going to be very productive. Especially when it comes to love and things that you do love and using your heart. Your heart space is going to be very open to new things, new ideas, really putting out there what it is you truly want. And I love the passion that's coming through. So it's like the passion of what I love to do. Wow, guys. It looks like November is just going to be a wonderful month for you. Okay, really pushing it through. We have the strife, right? What is it that the whole month is really about? The future of the month. The understanding is the strife of the abundance. Putting everything out there. Putting everything out there that you need for the overall abundance, Three of Cups. For that abundance, that happiness, that joy, you're going to feel the strife. You're going to overcome a lot of ups and downs in November when it comes to getting to this Ace of Cups, when it comes to getting to what it is you truly want within this situation, looking for that overall passion. Feeling that need to say, hey, you know what? If I need to back away from someone, I'm going to back away from someone. I'm not going to sit over here and let you destroy what I'm looking for. So really, you're going to put the ball in your court with the Prince of Wands. You know where you're going and you know what you're going to do. You're following your heart. Okay. Overall outcome, closest outcome to the understanding for November, the universe. There it is, taking it and dancing with the universe, taking it and making it yours, calling it forth. The universe is the same as pretty much the Fool, saying I'm dancing with the universe, but I'm also taking on this fool's journey. I'm taking back what's mine. I love the universe card because not only is it the end, the world, as the world is your oyster scenario, this card, is also talking about bringing in the magic for yourself. knowing where you're standing and where you're going, having the essential questions, answering those questions for that completion, having the patience and the understanding, thinking about what's going on around you, getting the answers that are needed to why and how things are unfolding the way they're unfolding. Seeing that opposition as well within that strife. Like I said, somebody's holding back. Somebody wants to take that ball away from you. Somebody doesn't want to play Mr. Nice Guy. But you're going to see that though. Okay, so as you are, fixing everything up in November and getting towards your dreams, questioning things. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what's going on, but it must be allergies. I've had a very sore throat. Very dry. The desert's very dry right now. I really could use some rain or something. It's so dry. My throat's been feeling that dryness. Pretty much almost all month I've been back and forth. Scratchy throat. These allergies. Okay, guys, so getting over here, we have, going straight into December, we have the futility over here, right? Okay. 7 of, what's that, swords? Okay, so the 7 of swords. Feeling that deceit, deceit. I don't know why. It's supposed to be defeat, but it did feel like it was deceit. Yeah. Because you felt like there was something that was still there that was due to exhaustion. So as you're having this completion within November, you're like, okay, I've got all this. But then when you're going into December, your energy for December pretty much is kind of exhaustion. It's like, I finally got to where I want, but I didn't really get everything I wanted from the situation. So you kind of feel like there's incomplete success because it just felt like I couldn't get it all done. So it does feel like maybe you were striving in vain there for a while. You still didn't get everything. You got the abundance that you needed to have the joy that could be the family time, the time of whatever it was you wanted, but the overall energy was, now it's going to end, and am I going to get my success? Which is crazy because here's the success card for the overall future, right, of the month, saying this is where it's coming in. So you do feel like there was something there. It could have been an untrustworthy person who's still lying around. Is it that person that I was talking about? That person that kept you back? That person, right? Because this is also that. Then you have the hangman energy coming from that energy. Saying, okay, how is the situation towards this energy that you're having? Well, the hangman. Me trying to figure it out. Me trying to redeem myself from that failure, from that insufficient, that I didn't get done exactly what I wanted. Me trying to figure out things so that I can completely close this chapter, but not feeling like the whole thing is done and over with. Because I was really looking for the Ace of Cups. I do feel like I got the abundance in November, but I didn't get exactly everything that I was really looking for. Still looking for the luxury to the success in December, overcoming the outcome, overcoming all of these triumphs and these trials, and the trials to get to the triumphs, right? But also having some triumphs along the way. Again, it wasn't like you didn't have any victories. You did have victories. We see it with the abundance here, that you did have some. But the combination of what you were looking for was not the success that you were overly looking for. I feel like, Gemini, that you just wanted it all. You weren't dealt the hand that you were so striving for, because somebody else was keeping, it's almost like keeping the aces out of the deck. You can't win if the aces are out of the deck. You're fooled. Now you're in hangman mode, trying to figure out the situation, trying to figure out how to get out of this to get to the next piece. Feeling that loss, but trying to redeem yourself. The overall outcome and the future to this situation for December is having the luxury to the success. Someone stepping in to play the role. Four of Cups. Four of Cups. Looking at what is no longer there. Looking down at things that no longer serve you. But remember that you want to see the luxury within the situation. The seeds that you planted were not completely they just didn't grow completely. But there is some pleasure with some mixed anxiety going on towards the success. Do I abandon this desire that I had for a different result, for a different success, for a different thing? I think there's a lot of answers you want answered when it comes to the Hanged Man, but I think it's a lot of the same questions you're asking with the universe from November. I think you're bringing over, and you're hoping that these answers will come to you of how you're going to get through this situation and be successful within this love, within this career, within this endeavor, whatever it is. Overall outcome for this situation for December, and then we'll look at the overall how we're going to exit 2026 with that energy going into 2020 or exiting 2025. I am so sorry, guys. Exiting 2025 to get into 2026. You have the Hierophant. So you're going to exit as the Hierophant, bringing in this Taurian energy, bringing in this higher magnitude of understanding and wisdom, trying to push your faith and your commitments into a different zone. If it didn't work one way, I have to think and trust a different way. Putting my solutions into a different area, replanting seeds that maybe will become fruitful. There's a lot of trust, a lot of faith when it comes to the Hierophant. Trusting within the universe that this could turn around. Using some kind of inspiration or divine wisdom. There's going to be a lot of stubbornness that you're going to take on in December. But there's going to be a lot of strength as well as you're persistently trying to learn. Well, of course you're going to learn. Learn how to either detach or how to fix the situation, or detach from one outcome to fix it in a different way. Something of that nature, because you do have going into 2026, exiting 2025 into 2026, it says you will have the Eon to the debauch. So the Seven of Cups. So there will be closure. There will be a fine resolution to the situation that you will find within the Hierophant. The Hierophant will give you the inner wisdom and the understanding, or you may have a Taurus that's coming in to help you set this right, set the, new boundaries, new seeds, sow new opportunities, ideas, with new commitments, new faiths, new trusts, because there's going to be a closure and a resolution when it comes to how this went down. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups said, I wanted what I wanted, but the Seven of Cups says you didn't get exactly what you wanted. You couldn't get exactly how you wanted to get that. It just didn't work. What are you going to do? There's guilt. There's promises unfulfilled. It could be, guilt. It could have been somebody was lying. Maybe you lied to yourself, feeling that deceit from this other person. But however it is, it's going to fix itself through. Like I said, the Hierophant is going to be the inner wisdom that's going to allow this to close itself out, because there just was not enough for that success, for that area of what you're looking for. Instead, it says, instead of seeing failure, you're going to see the Queen of Wands. It's going to inspire you. It's going to pick you up, make you more courageous for 2026, saying, you know what? With great failure comes great learning lessons. With great failure doesn't mean that it's really failure. It just means that it had problems along the way. Things didn't work out for my best interest, or wasn't good for me. God's protection, God's rejection is your protection. So it does feel like you were in this protected area for whatever it was that was going on within your life. We don't want to always see things as just failure. There has to be a reason for the failure. I think the failure was because it wasn't meant for you. There was too many hidden deceits. There's too many hidden lies. There's too many hidden things that could totally ruin you in the end. And so, yeah, and maybe it was only built on lust. So if it was, depending on what you're looking at, it could have been just built on lust and lies and ruin. So you're going to go in straight up with a new sense of who you are, getting strong, confident, and saying, let's rock and roll and let's do something different. Let's yeah, well, there's the Empress. Let's co-create something new, something strong. And whatever you're going to be building, you're going to be building strong. Because it says after this tower, after a tower comes what, guys? After the tower comes in the strength. We're going to build a stronger foundation of what it is that we truly want for the overall change. Swift things are coming for you, and they're going to be strengthened. You're going to be strengthened beyond any kind of strength that you had before, because you're going to see it in a different kind of light. You're going to see it as the way that it was instead of the way it could have been, because you already seen what you thought it could have been, but that wasn't what was real, right? This person, this place, this thing was not what they made themselves out to look like, or what it was making itself look out. There's a lot of facade. So it does look like there was a lot of facade behind the situation, especially with the Seven of Cups, the delusion, facades, empty promises, no great foundations, just built on quick, easy, temporary foundations that could collapse at any moment. Big bad wolf effect, blow the house down, right? But now you guys are going to enter 2026 so strong. I can't even believe how strong it is. It's going to be the change that you've been looking for. So until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.